taken for a long, long time. And there are a few things that everybody could use, but then specific additional needs just kind of are based on your age and your activity level and really kind of what you want to accomplish too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I like the word strategy. Right? Like there's a good supplement strategy for everyone. You've really dialed yours in. I've really dialed mine in. I get tested. By the way, I've got a tip for you. I had a guy on my podcast, Don Brown. He's actually a billionaire who retired and then started an app called Life Extend. Have you heard of it or seen it?
Life Extend?
Life Extend. And I'm loving it.
Okay.
And they have a nutritional test in there that's the bomb. When I started 6 years ago, my first nutritional blood plan was $500. These things were really expensive. And then the last one that I did that I told you about was $180. Back in January, I paid $180 for vitamin mineral panel. Well, they've got this great panel in there for $100. And I'm really excited. I haven't got the results yet, but what happened was I paid my $100 and then they sent me an email where they told me a local clinic to go to. And I went there and a nurse drew 6 of those little tubes of blood. It seemed like a lot to me, but she took 6 of those little vials and sent them off to a lab in Arizona. And so this has been I've been telling people to have a test done, but I haven't had a good answer of where for a very long time. So I'm pretty excited about that. And it is a free app. You can pay $3 a month for the premium version, but I don't think you have to pay to get access to their I think it's called the marketplace, where you can see all these things they have. And in there is a blood panel. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get my results back. And that may be my go-to one now that looks like it has more results for the cheapest price I've ever paid. So
yeah, that's great.
Looking good.
We'll have to put it in the show notes and check that out. All right, running out of time, but I want to run through number 6 and 7 with you. So
we'll go quick.
Let's get to it. What's number 6?
Fitness.
Yes.
Exercise daily.
Yes.
Daily. We used to be told that if we exercised for 20 minutes 3 times a week, that we'd be good and fit. and we just know the fitness science on this is clear, that our bodies are not designed to be sitting in sedentary 4 days a week and exercise for 20 minutes. Our bodies are meant to move. So and I'm not saying that you have to become a gym rat, and I'm not saying that you got to put on your fancy clothes, hit the gym and go sweat every single day. But we do need to at least be walking, doing some yoga. We ought to be doing weights, both men and women. We know that strength training is good, keeping up our muscle. For women, they're less likely to get osteoarthritis and osteoporosis if they're doing some strength training. And for men, of course, it keeps their testosterone up. So there's all kinds of benefits, no matter how old you are or what your background is, to some strength training. But do some fitness every day, even if it's light walking, yoga, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Anything that you can do to work your body and put a little stress on your system is good for you and needs to be done every day.
Move it or lose it.
Move it or lose it every day.
All right. And number 7?
Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. This is one that we didn't used to talk about in the 80s when health first started. Everyone was getting physical, right? Running started, and jogging, right? And aerobics and everything. But no one talked about sleep. And, we're in a society of go-getters. People want to achieve. They want to burn the candle at both ends, all that stuff. But what we're finding out is that as human beings, we need to get back to a circadian rhythm that the earth is going through, of the sun and the moon, light and dark. And the closer we can align ourselves to sleeping when it's dark and doing all of our activity during the light and getting at least 7 hours of sleep, the healthier we are, the less brain fog. Back to the brain fog thing, we'll have less if we get lots of sleep. And so that's the last one, although it could easily be number 1, right? So these things, I've listed them from 1 to 7, and some are more important than others, but some of them are all number 1.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's almost impossible to create a hierarchy because everything is really important. And sleep really, if you are trying to lose weight, sleep is important, but there is that balance of 7 to 9 hours. So it's not sleeping 14 hours either. I know for my teenagers, sometimes that can work for them, and they need that because they're growing bodies. But most adults, that 7 to 9 works really well. And, just think of it. If we don't rest, if we don't give our bodies a chance to repair, to lower cortisol, to lower inflammation, to keep the ghrelin at bay, right? The gremlins, I call them, then, we really don't function very well when we are awake. So do yourself that favor and really sleep. Sleep's so critical.
Yeah, and the science has proven that people who don't sleep enough are more overweight than those who get enough sleep. Because their body is able to process the food and everything that I mentioned earlier. And so it's weight loss, it's better performance, it's better relationships. It's that potentially avoiding cancer or diabetes in the future because our body is able to, as you mentioned, repair itself. And so it's longevity, it's everything. And all of these things I mentioned earlier, getting that thing from our website, but as well as the Nairobi Undiet sheet, there's one called the Virtuous Cycle, which shows how all these things go together in a 24-hour period. And I'm really big on that, on living every 24 hours very intentionally and healthily. And within every 24-hour period, if we have good sleep, good nutrition, good fitness, intermittent fasting in an eating window, and when you combine all this together and you're on a 24-hour cycle, not a 2-month weight loss cycle, but a 24-hour cycle every single day, repeat, you'll reach your goals.
Yeah.
You'll do it even if you don't have goals.
I love it. No, these are great habits. It's a wonderful roadmap for people to start. Where can they find out? We're going to include the links that you mentioned in the show notes, but where's the best place for people to connect with you?
Dirobi.com, DIROBI.com. And if you use the coupon code INSIDER, if you'd like to purchase anything while you're there, if you want to try out our multi or our minerals or any of our other products, wonderful. That'd be great. You can save 15% with coupon code INSIDER. On our resources page, there's quite a bit there. I've gone fairly quickly through these 7 points, but we've got a really nice, beautiful, graphically illustrated 10-page PDF that would be great if people downloaded and spend a little more time on these things. I think they're worth it. I think that many people are not living this way. And I promise your listeners, you just live this way for just give it 60 days. Give it 60 days and you may never go back to a named diet or anything difficult or calorie counting or anything else ever again. You'll find that you're naturally going to achieve your goals through these 24-hour repetitive cycles put together. And so that resources page has some great stuff there. And otherwise, I also have a podcast. So they can find information there about that. Perfect. And for those that want any personal, I don't do one-on-one coaching as part of my what I do for a living, but I do free 20-minute sessions for anybody. If someone really wants to chat about anything here, they have something they don't want to share publicly, whatever the case may be, on the homepage of Dirobi.com, you can schedule a 20-minute session. Like I said, it doesn't lead to me asking you for more sessions or for money. It's not about that. Yeah. But I'm happy to spend 20 minutes with anyone.
Thank you for all your wisdom and these really well laid out steps and your roadmap. And we'll put the link to your podcast and your website in the show notes. So thanks again for your time and for all that you do.
Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I know you have a lot of choices out there of what to listen to, what to watch, so it means a lot to me that you're here with me. And hey, if you love this content, would you hit the subscribe button? I want you around. I don't want you to just show up for one episode and leave. I want you here, part of the conversation, a seat at this table. And while you're at it, would you share this with your friends and family? And if you take a screenshot and share it on your social media with a hashtag RFYBL for Recipes for Your Best Life, I'll make sure to personally give you a shout out and you may just be featured right here on the show. So until next time, here's to living deliciously and being the chef of your best life.